jinns have been in every single body, right? Are you scared of jinns, guys? No, you're not. You know why? Because jinns come in our bodies every single day. They do. Every single day jinns come. In fact, when you wake up for Fajr, you've got a jinn that's already tied, a shaitan that's already tied 3 knots over your head. Just over that part of your head, tied 3 knots. Every human being, especially the ones that want to wake up for Fajr. There's a specific group of shaitans that are just after making us miss Fajr Salah. So if you missed your Fajr Salah this morning, you had a group of jinns that came to your house and they basically did their little job. So what they do is they tie 3 knots, and when you wake up, they say, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said this to us, the hadith in Muslim, that you sleep, you've got a long night. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said he'll carry on doing this until he's made you miss your Fajr. He says, if the person gets up, if the person remembers Allah, they say, Alhamdulillah, alladhi ahyani ba'da ma amatani. Whatever dua, whatever dhikr they do, any form of remembrance of Allah they do, 1 knot is untied immediately. Next one is they basically go and perform wudu. If they perform wudu, another knot is untied immediately. One of the key things in the wudu that we do to try and get the influence of the shaitan away is to rinse the nose properly. Now a lot of people don't do this sunnah properly. When you rinse your nose, have you seen some people rinsing the nose wudu? They just grab the and they go. There's a bang there, nose 3 times with water. That's not rinsing your nose. Some people just get water and just go straight on top of their nose. That's not rinsing your nose. It's in the inside. Okay, so some people, what they do, their rinsing of the nose is just basically grab some water and just stick it up in there, stick it up in there, that's it, they rinse their nose. And some other people, they want to basically, do the classical one, yeah? You better not watch, brothers. Yeah? And then release some explosion from their nose. Yeah, be careful, brothers. There's other brothers doing wudu. Yeah, make sure he doesn't fall over him. He's got his clothes over there as well. I don't like. You're just trying to do wudu in the wudu area, right? You got some brothers who are trying to do wudu. I think, are you doing wudu or are you making me do wudu? Because it's half over your jubba, whatever, your trousers. Yeah, and when the guy basically does the classic one, you just basically want to make sure that he doesn't blow it all out onto your clothes or something. So anyway. The sunnah regarding this, and it's very important because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that the shaitan sits just at the end of your nostrils, within just your nose. He sits there throughout the night because you're in forgetfulness. You're not in a state of dhikr. And to get the influence of shaitan away is to take water to snuff it up to the bridge of the nose, and then to sniff it out, both sort of parts. So to take some water in is one sunnah, to take and blow the water out is the second sunnah. Both these sunnahs complete cleansing the nose at the time of wudu or ghusl, at the time of performing ablution or having a bath. So that's the second one. The third one the hadith says is that the person prays. When you pray 2 rakats, the last knot that is there will actually be untied. So jinn comes, and in a hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that each person has an angel and he has a shaitan that comes within him, and the angel will give good thoughts and the shaitan will give bad thoughts. Okay, that is there. Now we've got shaitan coming in, but the shaitan doesn't stay if you do the dhikr of Allah. If a person does the dhikr of Allah, the shaitan can't stay. It's a clear-cut matter. Hadith in Tirmidhi says that when the adhan is said, there's a very key thing to getting the shaitan away from yourself, or getting the shaitan away from a particular place, is adhan. The adhan, when the adhan is said, the shaitan feels as if his back is being broken. That's why he runs. When the adhan is said, the shaitan runs. When the Quran is being recited, the shaitan finds it very difficult to stay there. Now there are certain shayateen, certain devils that can slowly become immune to some of these things. But it's very, very difficult, because what they do is they take the burning. They take the burning element and they withstand it, and they withstand it until they can possibly get used to it. It's almost like some human beings, you can start to play with fire and you can get used to touching fire. There's some people that can actually do that. So the same way they can actually get used to some of this, but it's very, very rare that they get used to being around you while you're giving the adhan, or being around you while you're reading the Quran. It is, or what they do is sometimes that if they've had a very long influence with a person, they can stay at far and still influence you from a distance. But that's a serious case. Now, doing the dhikr of Allah, reading the Quran, doing the adhan and so on, these things will immediately move the shayateen. Immediately move them away from yourself. When a person is not remembering Allah, the shaitan can come straight away. The shaitan can get to a stage where he can move around the body just like blood moves around the body. Blood circulates the body. And this is a hadith in Muslim. There can be a state where the shaitan or the devil can come within a human being and they can move around just as the blood circulates the whole body. When would that be? That would be when a person is in some serious ghafla, some serious absence from Allah's dhikr, away from Allah's dhikr, or they've hardly got any of the dini aspects within themselves. There's two strengths that are fighting. Now here you've got to understand each body has got certain elements of the Quran in it. And there's nur, there's light that's spread when we read Quran. There's light, or the ruh, or the soul gets stronger when you do the dhikr of Allah. When you start thinking about Allah, when you start giving the adhan and so on, and when you start doing good deeds and good practice, there is a good strength to the body. There is darkness that spreads within the heart, within the body, when there's an absence of all of these things.